It is time. Or rather, it would have been time about 5 minutes ago. I don't have an excuse, I was just playing Baldur's Gate. I don't know you guys' punctuality. Fuck you guys. I'm kidding, I love you guys. So hi, Mother Satan. I hate that Streamlabs does this, and I can't figure out how to not make it do this. But every time my game is focused, like it actually is showing up on stream, it just doesn't show me my mouse, which isn't great when navigating menus that I can't do the mouse. There we go. I go with more fantasy lesbians because we love them, or I love them. Not that I'm biased or anything. Leofi and I walk back to my grand's house, the only sound being the wind as it runs through the tall grass and crunching of our footsteps in the ground. Leofi's been uncharacteristically quiet ever since our run-in with the peculiar woman. Her eyes are narrowed, her lips pursed together. She doesn't even try to engage me in conversation. It looks like there's a lot on her mind. It's a little disconcerting to see Leofi so passive, so pensive. I've only known her for a few days, but I've grown accustomed to her bright smiles and her excitable demeanor. If only I could cheer her up. Maybe this is my fault, bringing Leofi to this gloomy old church. Not that I knew Lynette was going to appear. Fenchapel's a tiny village, but there's a lot about it I don't know. Like an iceberg, I can only see about the top 10% of it with the naked eye. The rest of it is hidden beneath the surface. There's a dark, shadowy, secretive world of magic and fairies and curses that run parallel to the unexceptional, everyday mass beneath a veil. I barely began to pull the shroud back. Hey, Leofi? You alright? Hmm? Oh, yes. I am quite fine, my lady. Please, do not worry about me. I have no wish to be a burden. You're not a burden, I just think, well, you haven't been acting like yourself, usual self. Did that wouldn't bother you? I'd be a lie if I said she didn't, but Luffy clenches her fingers into a fist. I doubt there was any real truth behind her words. She was just trying to get under my skin. I would not trust her as far as I could throw her. But she said this village was cursed. Oh, I do not disbelieve that, but I doubt she is as innocent as she wants us to believe. She can cloak her true intentions behind all the fancy words she likes, but I can see through her. She is rotten to the core, regardless of what she says. Do you think she does mean to harm us? Indisputably. She was the one who addled my brother. I see no reason why she would not try to attack us. But she said she didn't. She was lying. But she didn't try to attack us though. Though she could have. She's going to hurt us. Wouldn't she have done it already? She said she's been watching us for quite some time. It would have been easy for her to wait until we fell asleep and then make a slashing motion across my throat with my right hand. I don't know much about Lynette, but I know she's powerful, undoubtedly so. She could have slaughtered Leofi and I in our beds without making a single sound. How close have I been to death over the last few days? I thought my escape from Edmund the day before last was perilous, but I've been a constant target since then, and I never even knew it. Who would have thought a simple trip to Fenchapel would have been so wrought with danger? I'm sure it would have been easy for that woman to kill us, but I doubt that would have been enough for her. Luffy grits her teeth together. I will not pretend to know what she wants from us, but one thing is certain. Before she kills us, she wants to make us suffer. That's how she amuses herself. She is a disgusting woman. I blink at my companion, a lot taken aback by her tone. She sounds better, even more so than the awful 90%. That awful 90% coca chocolate my mother's fond of. I cannot stand that charlatan. She is the one who possessed my brother, and I will make her repent with her life. I do not know who she is or what she wants, or why she wants to torment me so. But I know that she is an evil person. That is why I must defeat her. I live to protect those weaker than myself. That includes my poor brother, who has been led astray by that sorceress. Of course it includes you too, Marnie. Sophie smiles gently, but the curve of her lips doesn't illuminate her eyes. Her eyes look forced somehow. Her smell looks forced somehow and uncontrollably cold. You are my dear friend, and I cannot let her hurt you. Perhaps we will not clash today or tomorrow, or the day after that. But soon the time will come. When my arm is recovered and I have regained my stamina, I will stand against that woman and I will cut her down. It is that simple. God, doing her voice for too long makes me lightheaded. It's far too breathy. I suppose I should feel glad that Leofi cares so much about me. I suppose I should be glad that Leofi cares for me so much, but I cannot suppress the shiver that runs down my spine. Leofi's eyes look cold and hard like stones, and they're almost completely devoid of emotion. After meeting Lynette, Leofi and I keep ourselves occupied. We wander the forest for several hours on Leofi's orders, not mine, and attempt to find a trace of the reclusive witch. Our search yields nothing more, however, than dehydration and mild sunstroke on my part. Being a feeble human, I soon flag, fatigue wins out, and we're bidden to return to my grandmother's home for dinner. After eating dinner, Leofi and I while away the evening sipping tea and watching TV. Leofi's been despondent ever since our chance encounter with Lynette, but she has surprisingly invested in Silent Witness. You'd think, based on her little speech about good versus evil, she wouldn't care for grisly murder mystery stories. But in shows like Silent Witness, no matter how high the body count, the killer, or killers, are always brought to justice in the end. If only real life could be that simple. I guess detective shows are kind of comforting in a way. They're neatly scripted, so all the loose ends can be tied up in 1 or 2 60-minute episodes, allowing for ad breaks, of course. Speaking of which, Leofi gets pretty entranced by the adverts too, particularly the ones from McDonald's. Yeah, she's never seen a burger before. The deluxe Big Mac bacon burger makes her mouth water like a leaky tap. It's a shame that the burgers at McDonald's never look as good as they do on the small screen. These are never quite as they seem. The next day. A new day dawns, but it leaves me with more questions than ever before. Who is Lynette? What happened to Leofi's brother? Why was Leofi sleeping in the middle of the forest for centuries on end? I wish I knew. There's too much to keep track of, my head's spinning. Oh my god, we're basically twinsies! Hold on. I'm Leofi now. Leofi, for her part, looks more concerned about my well-being than her own history, at least to the present. She sits in bed looking at me, and then... I should really do these earlier in the day. Oh my lady, what in the world happened to your poor face? I don't know, what is wrong with my face? Why is she staring at me like that? She's awfully close. God, nuts, now I'm starting to blush. Waking up next to a pretty female knight is even worse for my heart than the deluxe Big Mac bacon burger. I do not mean to be rude, but your cheeks are all pink and red, and the bridge of your nose too. Oh, but don't take my word for it. Come here, come. Leofi takes my fingers in her own and rises from our bed. I have no choice but to follow. She leads me to Aunt Letta's vanity mirror, and I examine my face in the wooden mirror. It doesn't take long for me to detect the cause of Leofi's concern. She's not wearing makeup, is she? Oh, it's sunburn. Yeah. My cheeks, my nose, and my forearms are all stained with angry pink blotches. Must have gotten sunburned after my sojourn in the woods yesterday. Crushed my stupid pale skin. I know the pain. Jeez, what a pain. Oh, you do not sound particularly concerned, my lady. Sure it's not a skin condition, or perhaps some kind of sickness. Surely you know what sunburn is. I have seen children in my home die after sustaining such rashes. The skin would turn red and they would break out in horrible spots and sores. God, Jesus Christ. They would cough themselves to death. I'll be fine, it's just sunburn. But how can you be so certain? This always happens, it's no big deal. It's my own stupid fault for not wearing sunscreen. Sunscreen? It's a sticky kind of lotion. You rub it on your skin and it stops you getting sunburn when you go into the sun. I guess it wasn't around in your day. Neither were boots or loins or any other boots or Londis or any other drugstores where you can pick up SPF 40 for under 10 quid. What are you going to do, my lady? You cannot go outside like that, surely. Your condition might take a turn for the worse. Well, fine, we can just cover it up with some foundation. Probably put some SPF 40 on first, though. I wonder if I have any. Turn away from Aunt Letta's vanity mirror. I do not want to look at my stupid sunburned face for a moment longer. Make a beeline for my suitcase. My mother practically stuffed my suitcase to the breaking point the night before we set off to Fen Chapel. God's sake. I'm pretty sure my yawning is just like a nervous tick. Because it only ever seems to happen when I'm streaming. You'd think after over 2 years that... You'd think after more than 2 years that I'd be over it by now, but apparently not. She made sure to plan for all eventualities, and that way fussy mothers do. Be it floods, heat waves, or even volcanic eruptions, probably. Only SPF 40, those are pussy numbers. Listen, just because your skin like shrivels up and burns off the moment you leave the house. In fact, she added so much stuff into my suitcase, Dad could hardly haul it into the boot of my car. She made me bring my own Anoric? Old Anoric? To Google, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's like a big winter jacket. I've never worn once. An umbrella, 3 new pairs of socks, 2 more pairs of socks. You can't wear those boots all the time, dear. Oh, two more pairs of shoes. You can't wear those boots all the time, dear. You'll cripple yourself in those high heels. And... here it is, my holy grail, bottle sunscreen. So my mum to stop fussing so much. I pack my own clothes, you know. I'm only going away for a week, but I guess her over-preparedness can come in handy sometime. Take the cap off the bottle, then squirt some of the cream onto my palm. Is that the sunscreen you spoke of? Mm-hmm. They're peculiar. I'd never seen such a thing before. It was a bit like a raw egg whites, only much thicker. That's at least more like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise? For God's sake, stop me. You gotta ease her into this shit. Stop. Never mind. The thought of slathering my tender skin in mayonnaise is so not an appealing idea. For sunscreen's not much better. It makes me feel all sticky. Hate it. Sit at the edge of my bed and begin to run the sunscreen into the palms of my hands, then on my arms. I reach up beneath my vest, brushing my fingers against my stomach, my ribs, and my side. This is a little uncomfortable. Awkward, too. And this sunscreen is supposed to protect you from the ravages of the sun? That's the general idea, yeah. So it is heat resistant. How interesting. I wonder if its properties could protect against a fire-breathing dragon. I don't know if sunscreen's that effective. But the dragon meant you melt your skin off, melt the skin right off your body, and the sunscreen with it. Wait, do dragons really exist? A couple of days ago, I'd have laughed at the idea, but after everything I've seen, well, who knows? Sophie smells it enigmatically and takes the bottle from my hands. Would you like to help me Would you like me to help you apply the streams salve, my lady? 4 hands are better than 2, and I should be able to reach the places you cannot. How romantic, putting on sunscreen for them. Is sunscreen like a... I swear to god sunscreen is an American slang. In the UK, both terms are used. Neither is a derivative of the other. Sunscreen, also commonly known as sun cream, is a lotion sprayed. Yeah, everyone I know calls it sun cream. I've only ever heard Americans call it sunscreen. But apparently both are used. You regard this as an apology for dragging you so relentlessly about the woods the day prior. You don't need to feel so obligated. It's not like you did anything wrong. I did! I was so very thoughtless, and I wish to make amends. Would you let me help you, please? Oh, alright then. You can help, just do it quickly, okay? I will. Thank you for trusting me, my lady. You don't need to thank me, don't be silly. It's not like I'm bequeath? Bequeathing.
Bequeath.
Bequeathing. It's like I'm bequeathing a grade on or up on Leofi or anything. No. No. Fuck. No. Oh my god. The baby. He's so cute. Turn so my back's facing Leofi. Then arrange my hair so it's all draped across one shoulder. The pajama shirt has fin straps on the low back, which leaves my innate shoulders and the top of my spine completely exposed. I sit there waiting expectantly while Leofi squirts a bit of the white sunscreen into her palm. She drops to the ocean. Jesus Christ! The moment I start stream, I lose the ability to speak. Jesus Christ. The ocean. She rubs the lotion into her hands, then introduces her fingertips to my bare back. I flinch at the contact, my eyelids flickering. My mother used to apply sunscreen. End me. My mother used to apply sun cream on the nape of my neck and my shoulders when I was a kid, but she was never this gentle. My mom moved with the precision of a machine, and her mechanical attempts to coat me as quickly as possible. Leofi, meanwhile, takes her time. She's just as thorough as my mother, but softer with it. In fact, this kind of feels nice. I suppose we should not spend too much time on the outdoors. I was hoping we could explore the forest a bit more, but I fear it'd be a poor idea. The trees should give you sufficient cover, but it seems to be another hot day. I would not be able to forgive myself if you fainted. Moreover, my arm is still not quite as it used to be. Does it still hurt? It does not hurt per se, but my muscles feel rather stiff. Though I wish I could march into the forest and rescue my brother from the evil enchantress. I fear I would not be able to defend myself, let alone you. Perhaps it would be best to stay indoors and enjoy the shade, and yet... Leofi glances wistfully at the window. The curtains are parted and the window is open. The warm summer's breeze creeps in through our room and makes the curtains flutter. Grant's expansive garden spreads out before us like a green picnic blanket, studded here and there with oak and ash and birch trees. Grandpa's old beehive, now devoid of bees, are off in the corner like a dilapidated shanty town. Some of the hives have fallen over and they're surrounded by a tangle of wildflowers. Grandma's greenhouse is to the left, fenced off from the rest of the sprawling ground by a boxy hedge. A wooden gate permits an entrance to the greenhouse, which is situated next to the vegetable garden where lettuce and onions and potatoes now grow. It's the lake, however, that commands most of my attention. The lake in my grandparents' garden is huge. Its sloping banks lined with willow trees. The warm sunlight plays across the surface of the lake, so it's shimmering like glass. It's a nice day, don't you think? Indeed it is. Sophie massages the last bit of sun cream into my back, then draws away. Alright, I think I'm done. Finally I can breathe again. Be still, my beating heart. I wonder what we should do now, though. We can always walk for the garden if you like. It's big enough, and it might be nice to check the vegetable garden. I think some tomatoes still need picking, and the blackberries might be ready. Blackberries? That does sound delicious. Luffy's eyes light up, just as they did last night, and when she saw the overhyped advert for McDonald's next line of deluxe burgers. But to her credit, she still tries to stem her obvious excitement. When was this game released, actually? We know it was established it's set in 2017. It released August 2020. So it was only set a few years before it was written. And then just a few years have passed since. I cannot afford to spend all my time eating, though. If I want to rescue my brother, I must continue my training. You want to practice, huh? Not a bad idea, but I think I'd startle Gran if I saw you waving a sword around the garden. I see. I thought as much. Does that mean I cannot train? Are my skills with the blade destined to wither away? May not be able to practice your sword, but might have hit upon a great idea here. I have something else you could choose to train with, like... Truly? Truly. And what, pray tell, is that? You have to wait and see. I smile obliquely and tap my shoe with my index finger. It's a surprise. No, it's not shoes. Jesus Christ. It's a surprise. 15 minutes and a lot of foundation liner. My goodness, what is this strange invention, Marnie? It's a water gun. It's pretty straightforward, really. Water gun? Luffy cocks her head to one side, perplexed. The water part I understand, but what is a gun? It's a weapon. It's used to shoot projectiles at people. Normally you'd use bullets. They're hard and made of metal, and they can be pretty dangerous. Even more dangerous than my blade? If you know how to aim properly, then yeah. Why isn't there... I feel that this should be, like, an urban fantasy story, right? That's set in America. And, like, the main character, comes across, like, all this magical stuff. And he just shoots them. Like, the evil witch is trying to cast a killing person on him or something, and he just fucking shoots her. I think that'd be very funny. No, that's just me. It's not uncommon to hear about violent gun-related crimes that occur overseas, but really hear about incidents involving swords. That's because it's illegal to carry swords. I'm so annoyed about it. Like, do you have any idea? Swords are so cool, and it's illegal to carry them around. Like, you can buy replica swords at cons that are like real like sharp swords. You have to get them mailed to your house because you can't just take them home. Time has moved quite a bit since Leofi was born, whatever century that was. Don't need to worry about these guns though, they're only toys and can't hurt anyone with them. Spray water at people, not bullets, though they're not for the nozzle here. When you run out of water, you can fill the gun back up with a water pump in a vegetable garden. I see. And where did you find these guns? They used to belong to Ruby and Pearl. They kept them stored in Grant's garden since they used to play with them whenever we got together. It's been a while since they last used them though. I know because I had to wipe them free of cobwebs when I finally unearthed them. Well, your cousins mind that we are using their guns for our own means? I doubt it. We used to play a lot when we were younger, but I had my own water gun when I was a kid. Mom bought it for me on my 7th birthday, after I begged and pleaded, Ruby and Pearl have them, I want one too, I want us to play together. Back then the three of us would race around Grant's garden, water guns in hand. We got behind trees and dart across the lawn, laughing and shrieking like banshees. Well, if Aunt Allison is to be believed, I'm the one who did most of the shrieking. Ruby and Pearl never made much noise, even when they were being sniped from a distance by jets of icy water. Played with these guns a lot, and we established our own scoring system. Head to the head, it was 20 points, and head to the torso was 5. Not that it really mattered. We were also ensconced? Ugh. To Google. Ensconced. Why do you have to keep putting such big words in your game? We were so ensconced in our game, it was hard to keep count. Sometimes Alea would act as our judge, but she wasn't much cop at it. She said we moved too quickly, she couldn't tell what was going on. Ruby and Pearl and I had a lot of fun with these guns, but we're older now and we don't play silly games anymore. Ruby and Pearl left their guns here one day and they politely declined to play with me next time I saw them, even when I begged. Said they were in secondary school now and they didn't think playing with water guns was very mature. Boo! Boo! They were too old to play with water guns. Ruby and Pearl were shy, soft-spoken girls, and they used to do everything I asked. And they were older than me, but I was their undisputed leader. They never ever questioned my judgment. I was the one who picked the games we played, and I almost always beat them. But that changed when my cousins started attending secondary school. They began wearing makeup and dyeing their hair, and all of a sudden they didn't want anything to do with me anymore. Said I was an immature little kid. They, meanwhile, were oh so mature. Them fucking first years. Or whatever the fuck England does. I don't know what's going on down there. Our relationship's never been the same since. It was a little sad. The past, to quote our Lord and Savior, Endina Menzel. Fuck's sake. This is a real person. Oh, she is. It's a me. How do you pronounce her name?
Edina Menzel.
Edina Menzel. Because apparently... Oh, she played fucking, She played Elsa in Frozen. Also, apparently, there's a Frozen 3 planned for 2025, or a rumor at least, that there's going to be a Frozen 3. Apparently, they've already started work on it. Christ, I'm not ready for that. And it is in the past, and there's no point in dwelling on it now. Those guys are pretty different from your sword, but if we play about with them, you should get some exercise. A quick match might help with your accuracy though. Kind of old, so they might be a bit busted, but they should work. I hope so. They're such strange weapons. Do you want me to show how to use it properly, Leofe? It might take a bit of getting used to. To be fair, my lady, on this matter, I trust my intuition. Well, alright. Luffy seems awfully confident. Hope this doesn't backfire on me. Don't mean to boast, but I'm pretty good with water guns. I don't think Ruby and Pearl were ever able to defeat me in battle. Not even when they banded together to take me down. Maybe short and scrawny, but I'm sturdier than I look. So, how are we going to do this exactly? What are the rules? You get 20 points if you hit the head, 5 points if you hit the torso. We'll keep going until one of us gets tired and gives in. What do you think? That sounds like fun! I would very much like to spar with you. Are you taking this a bit too seriously? It's supposed to be a fun game. Oh no, my lady, you underestimate me. When it comes to combat, I do not play. Whenever I fight, I do it to win. You may be my friend, but I will not hold back. Oh, look at her. She's adorable. They're so cute. Olivia points the barrel of her gun at me, her fingers resting lightly on the trigger. It does not matter whether I'm using a gun or a sword. I will do my very best, and I will make you recognize the full extent of my power. You mean you just want to... You just want to show off? I suppose that's a fair assessment. I do quite enjoy displaying my full capabilities in combat whenever I can. I hope you have prepared yourself, my lady. You might have been the one to propose this bout, but I shall not go easy on you. Here I come. Hey, wait, that's not... That I'm unable to choke the words out in time. A stream of cold, icy water hits me in the head. I stagger back, trying to fend off the unending stream of water or the plastic stain of my own gun. Here I was worried about Leofi wouldn't know how to operate her gun properly. How foolish I was. When it comes to combat, she really is merciless. Then, in that case, I won't hold back either. Shoot a jet of water at Leofi, though she's able to dodge it just in time. She spins her borrowed skirt, fluttering and meets my ground with one of her own. Good, that is how I prefer it. It would be boring if you gave up at the beginning. Now let us fight until neither of us can stand. You're on. I'll show you what I'm really made of. Please do. It would make me happier than I have been in years. Do not let me down. I wouldn't dream of it. Let's commence our bitter battle to the death. That was quite a rigorous workout. Did you enjoy yourself, my lady? I don't know if I enjoyed it. I don't know if enjoy was really the word. You weren't kidding when you said you weren't going to hold back. I was exhausted. That's the good thing, surely. It proves that you have been working hard. I don't really exercise unless it hurts, huh? Now you sound like Miss Whitman. Miss who? My PE teacher. She's a demon. I bet she's the only beginner teacher she could torment me. Oh my! Hope I've not acted particularly demonic. Well, maybe a little. It didn't give me a chance to catch my breath. It feels like my muscles are ready to turn to jelly. It's been a while since we concluded our fight, but I'm still gasping for air. She's just like me for real. Well, even like light exercise and I'm immediately fucking gasping and spluttering. Like, it's bad. I'm so out of fucking shape. But trust me, when it warms up, I'm gonna go on so many hikes. It'll be great. Been a while since we concluded our fight, and I'm still gasping for air. Leofi, by contrast, still looks perfectly composed, not a single strand of her brown hair out of place. Unlike me, she managed to avoid most of my torrent of water. Her clothes are almost completely dry, save for a few damp splotches on her long skirt. Maybe I underestimated her. She's every bit as powerful as she promised, and then some. What a fearsome foe. You're way too good at this. It isn't fair. Well, I've had training unlike you. I used to practice my sword for hours on end. I'm not naturally strong, so I had to train myself in order to protect others. I wanted to care for my father and my brother and the people of my settlement. And now, I wish to care for you too. By shooting me in the face with streams of icy water? Well, you were the one who proposed the challenge. I thought it would be an insult to your honor if I did not use my full power. Well, it wasn't supposed to be a challenge. Oh? Are you sure you're not saying that because you lost, my lady? I pout and turn my head away while Leofi giggles beside me. And my clothes are all wet. I got a bit wet too, but it should be alright. It is a lovely warm day, and I doubt we will be in much danger of catching colds. That's not how that works! Why does everyone say that? You... He... Ah! Diseases travel way better when you're in warm and closed spaces. Being cold and outdoors is the worst conditions for a disease to spread in. I don't know why that's such a common thing. Maybe it's just a superstition. Starting to wonder if Leofi can catch colds. She's not an ordinary human. Maybe she's immune to germs and bugs and nasty diseases. Now, how would her insides look if I took her to get x-rayed? Maybe her body isn't built like mine. She certainly has stronger legs and a swifter aim. I barely get a hit on her, though she utterly destroyed me. We just need to sit here and wait for the sun to dry out our clothes. Nature always has a way of providing. Yeah. I stare up at the blue sky spread above me, partially partially obscured by fronds of green leaves. The leaves always sway slightly in the breeze, and I squint, holding one hand to my face to blot out the sun. The grass brushes against my damp legs and arms. A sweet floral scent dances in the air, no doubt from a nearby cluster of rose bushes. Grandpa used to tend to this garden with a bit of help from Dad. He watered the tomatoes and lettuce in the garden. In the vegetable garden, clipped the roses bushes, and even kept several hives of bees up until his death last year. Most of Grandpa's responsibilities have fallen on my dad's shoulders now. He comes over every week to help Gran keep on top of things. She can't work the old lawnmower with her ropey arms, so Dad cuts the grass. He shears the hedges too and tends to all the flowers. My grandparents' sweeping garden hasn't fallen into disrepair just yet, but the roses do look a bit more tangled than usual, and the grass is uneven and choppy. My dad's not great shakes at gardening, and it shows. Still, he's doing his best. I wonder what'll happen to this place when Gran dies too. I spent a lot of fun hours in the garden, playing with Ruby and Pearl and Ella. Those memories are all precious to me, though they seem very faint, almost ghostly now. I don't want this garden to disappear. What will happen to my memories then? Marnie? Leofi shifts a little closer to me until her knees nudge my side. Are you alright? I'm just thinking. Oh, what a relief. I was afraid you were sulking. What would I be sulking about? Well, let me see. You could always be reflecting upon how badly I beat you, mayhaps. Hey! I scowl. For a so-called knight, you're not very modest. Do you know there's a thing called being a sore winner? Then I apologize if I was being discourteous. Perhaps I should be more humble, but... Luffy glances over at the lake, her expression contemplative. During my era, others constantly looked down on my skills. I wanted to join the guard who kept watch over the settlement, but I was refused, no matter how many times I asked. They said I would only be a liability, for I was a woman. I said I would prove my mettle by besting them all in a one-to-one fight. They agreed, laughing of course, but they assumed I was all talk. They were there. They were sure there was no way I could triumph over them. They were wrong. I proved myself, but even then they did not recognize my abilities. They dismissed my victories as dumb luck, and some even said I was cheating. In the end, I was never accepted as a knight. I was only ever regarded as a woman. I wonder if that's why I enjoy being with you so much. When we are together, I do not feel the need to prove myself. It seems that you have accepted me as your knight, even though I am a woman. Or am I wrong? No, you're right. I accept you, so you don't need to keep rubbing your victory in my face. Wonderful. Leofi claps their hands together. Being with you really is fun, my lady. Because you can trounce me at any contest of strength in under 5 minutes? Oh no, that isn't it. Not entirely, at least. I did not think I'd trounce you. You put up a fine fight. I did not expect you to last as long as you did. Well, thanks very much. That does so much for my ego. Not. You did so well. Perhaps I should grant you some kind of reward. And what sort of reward? Well, sad though it is, I do not have much to offer you. It is customary for women to give brave knights embroidered handkerchiefs as token of affection. But we are both women, and I am the knight, not you. Ilfie's brow furrows. As we are both friends, and I care for you, perhaps? Ilfie leans in even closer, her sweet breath dusting my cheek with, like icing, and says, "This is for you. I know it is not much, but I hope you accept it." Takes my hand in her own, then presses the quick kiss against my knuckle. Oh, the baby. Lesbians. Her lips barely graze my skin, quick as his kiss and as quick and fleeting as fairy's footsteps, but I gasp all the same. Hold my hand to my chest. Blood rushes to my cheeks, dyeing my face red. My skin feels warm. Really, if you kissed it. Why is it prickling so? I might as well have been poked with a pin. I mean, what? I just, you... Why did you do that? Luffy inclines her head to one side. I apologize if I did something untowards, my lady. I was only wished to show you my fond feelings. Is this gesture not common amongst friends? No, it's not. It's definitely not. If I guess Helena like that, then... But I'm able to counter. I don't have the opportunity. It's because, at that moment, a familiar voice calls to me across the garden. Oh, Marnie, Leofi, there you two are. I was calling for you. Gran is approaching us, wending her way around the side of the lake. She's wearing a pastel cardigan and a pair of brown lace-up shoes. I'm so used to seeing Gran indoors, her slippered feet clad in a pair of brown slippers. Her slippered feet clad in a pair of fluffy slippers, that it seemed almost strange to see her in shoes with real heels. In her hand, she's holding a tray laden with small, bite-sized fancies and a china teapot. What have you got there, Gran? I was doing a bit of baking this morning, and I thought you might want to help yourselves. There's some banana bread here, and some blueberry muffins, and fairy cakes too. Oh, hell yeah, fairy cakes slap. Fairy cakes slap so hard. You always used to love fairy cakes when you were little, Marnie. That was a while ago, Gran. You're never too old for fairy cakes. Those shit slaps so hard. I thought you'd say that. You might fancy yourself a grown-up miss, but nobody's too mature to enjoy some cakes. I thought you needed sweetening up there. Though you have been more cheerful since Leofi arrived, I'm glad you have a friend to play with. I want to counter with surly, we weren't playing, but I guess that's indisputable, given how wet my clothes are. Leofi would say we were sparring, of course, but I'm not so sure I agree with her judgment. Gran shuffles towards us, her gait slow and overly hesitant. Her hands tremble, and I'm afraid she'll spill the teapot. Do you need help with that? Oh no, I'm fine, dear. Just give your old Gran a second. But you made those cakes for us. Please, let me aid you, my good woman. Good woman. Luffy raises to her feet. She picks her way across the grass to my Gran, skirting around about the clusters of wildflowers, and takes the tray from her with her nimble fingers. Luffy really is better than me at everything. She beat me at water gun fights, and I think she might even be a better granddaughter. Why is she so perfect? Maybe fairy blood really does run for her veins. Well, I don't want to be a bother, but thank you very much, dear. These old legs just aren't what they used to be. Now you two girls enjoy your snacks, alright? I brewed some lovely chamomile tea too. It should go well with the fairy cakes. Please return the tray and plates to the kitchen when you're finished. I'll be in the living room if you need me. Gran shuffles back to the house while Leofy carries the tray beneath the shade of the willow tree. God, some cakes does sound nice right about now. That's just because I'm really hungry. I had a late lunch, and I'm waiting for my brother to get back from work before we order dinner. So it's gonna be a while. I'm hungry. We sit together beneath the tree, cross-legged, in companionable silence as we watch Gran retreat back. Luffy smiles contentively, tracing a pattern around the rim of one of the teacups Gran painstakingly prepared with her trembling fingers. Your grandmother is a dear, isn't she? She really is. I pour us 2 cups of piping hot tea, while Leofy examines the delicate pastries laid out on the willow patterned plates. Leofy seems taken with the banana bread and the muffins, but I think she's particularly enchanted by the fairy cakes. They're topped with white icing sugar, piped with fluffy peaks and decorated with tiny silver balls that shiver beneath the sunlight. Right? These little delicacies are simply adorable. What does your grandmother call them? Fairy cakes. Fairy cakes, is it? That is a sweet name in Fairy. But these cakes look far too good to be wasted on mischievous, thieving fairies. Have you met any fairies before? Yes, I have. Quite a few, in fact. They prefer to hide themselves away from humans, but they cannot be underestimated. They particularly enjoy harassing humans. They make them lose sight of their paths when they venture the woods, or lead them astray into dangerous territory. Then they laugh about it amongst themselves and do nary a thing to help. I cannot stand fairies. I do not believe any of these. I do not deserve any of these little cakes. Well, it's just a name. We usually eat them at birthday parties alongside jelly and ice cream and sausages on sticks and slices of Battenberg. I really like Battenberg. It's a very sweet cake that's coated in marzipan and it hurts my teeth. Grand Fairy's cakes, meanwhile, are another matter. They're small and perfectly formed and they taste delicious. How lovely. This little cake is so soft and fluffy, it almost takes up a cloud. I really am glad I came here. I'm glad I met you. Luffy looks at me, her eyes shining a dab of icing sugar on her lower lip. Some things about this village bother me, but it seems churlish to complain when the food is so wonderful. For now, let's enjoy ourselves. We can worry later. That sounded like a good idea. That sounds like a good idea to me. For the moment, I don't want to think about fairies or the enchanted forest or Leofy's brother. I don't want to worry about the witch or what will happen to Leofy when I have to go home at the end of this week. So I want to spend time with her. I want to have fun. Can't you be feeling that Leofy's living on borrowed time? It's fast beginning to run out. Right. I want to go on, but my brother will be here in a few minutes. And we're gonna order dinner. We're gonna eat it. Also, just like talking constantly and doing character voices. I'm getting better at it. It's straining my throat less and less the more I do it, but it's still not particularly comfortable to do for long swaths of time. So I try to keep these streams short-ish when I can. My voice was completely dead by the time I finished those 3-hour strawberry vinegar streams. But that's all for today. I'm busy tomorrow and Tuesday. Wednesday is a maybe. But we'll see from there. But until then, I'll see you. Bye.